'Twas the night after Christmas, and all through the house, not a Faust was stirring, not even a Mephistopheles. Hello, hello. How goes it? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we hopping in Faust. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Unbirthday, or Happy Birthday to you, if it is applicable. How goes it? Thank you, Coid. Merry Birthmas. Happy Aeromas. I like Aeromas. I enjoy the holidays, but it is stressful, I will say. I do get stressed out by it. So I always try my best to take care of myself. I had a fine enough day yesterday. I hope everyone watching this, whether you are in chat or you're a lurker or you're a VOD watcher, enjoyed your day. And if you didn't, then hopefully you can hop in and enjoy future days with us. Because at the end of the day, no day is more special than the others. Some days might be more culturally relevant or religiously relevant or relevant to your aging. I am now officially significantly older than I was 2 days ago. Because yesterday I increased by an entire year in a single day. That's how birthdays work. Imagine a setting where humans didn't age, but once a day every year on the anniversary of their birth, they just go through an entire year of aging all at once. And like, that doesn't sound that bad, but imagine children. Imagine a 1-year-old who goes from being an infant to being a 1-year-old. And then a 1-year-old who goes from being a 1-year-old, or a 2-year-old who goes from a 1-year-old to being like a toddler. And then a toddler who like grows up from being a toddler in the terrible 2s, which probably go into the terrible 3s, like up to being like an actual proper child that can like move around and have proper mobility. And then adolescence. Oh boy, that'd be sucky. No, don't give Arrow Christmas crackers. They stress Arrow out like a horse. First off, why like a horse? Second of all, I don't think I've ever done Christmas crackers. That's never been a thing for me. Because I assume you mean the things that like you grab the ends and you pop it and it goes pop. I think I've done that like once or twice, but we don't do those in my family. Yeah, the height increase alone. Or imagine, oh my gosh, imagine you like go from being perfectly healthy to you have like broken bones. Your joints just suddenly have like 10 months worth of arthritis built up. Horses get stressed by loud noises. Arrow gets stressed by holiday loud noises. I mean, dogs get stressed by loud noises too. People are celebrating like fireworks and whatever, like turn of the night, and the dog downstairs, because I live in a multi-level place, the people downstairs, their dog was howling for like an hour. And I don't care. I like dogs, and I wasn't streaming or recording, so I don't care. Honestly, I'm pretty chill when it comes to background noises, so long as it doesn't interfere with my streams or my recording. I'm very chill like that. Arrow's delicate and likes to run. I'm not delicate. How dare you? Arrow wants to be compared to a dog. Arrow woos confirmed once more. I didn't say I want to be compared to a dog. I said dogs are another example of an animal that gets scared by loud noises. You shush your mouth. No black poodles here. No Mephistopheles. Act 2, Scene 1 in our last Act 1. Faust was basically complaining about how smart he is. He was saying how amazing he is, how wonderful he is, how he's a Renaissance man. And then he proceeded to summon a spirit, which I believe the spirit was Mephistopheles, and then banish the spirit. And then a black poodle came across him, and he brought the black poodle to his home. The black poodle turned out to be Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles was unable to leave because a pentagram was warding him off, but it was improperly drawn, so he could enter but not leave. And because demons have to leave the way that they entered, he can't escape. So Faust was like, hey, make a deal with me. And Mephistopheles was like, no, dude, that's weird. Like, this is entrapment. What are you doing? And then he got spirits to put him to sleep, and then summoned rats to chew on the pentagram so he could escape. Which I thought he was just kind of like doing like the sales pitch of making Mephistopheles, or making Faust think he was trapped so that Faust would want to keep him there. But I think he was literally just trapped, which is very funny to me. Also, having weird archaic rules like you can't leave except the way you enter is cool, which is why I think it would be fun to make a minor, small TTRPG system based off of like, oh my gosh, there was like a wizard battle that they had where you invoked the names of the elements. Bro. I want to make that so bad. But I have a different system that I need to make. And I was going to have it done by yesterday. But then I was like, no, I'm going to make the Payday song. And then I had a lot of fun making the Payday song. And people were so nice about it. Like, I don't think it's going to get very many views. I don't think it's going to get much engagement. I don't think it's going to get many comments. I don't think it's going to perform well. But I did it to say that I did it. And then people were so nice about it. Wizard battles are always great, particularly when it's more than just Avada Kedavra, because that's like the most boring spell, the I win instantly spell. I would never not use that. Yeah, so I do think it would be fun to make a TTRPG where you have a magic system that is entirely reliant on invoking the names of greater spirits and using their power. And what I would probably do is I would make it so that when you invoke a spell, when you cast a spell, you have to invoke a spirit. However, you have a certain, like, kit points from Kane or, like, item slots from Candela Obscura. It's just, you have a certain amount of spirits that you just happen to know already. And so, whenever you invoke a spell, you can just make up a new spirit and, like, mark off one of your spirit slots, and that's just a spirit that, like, you have a firm understanding of, that you already brokered a pact with, and then you can be like, by the spirit of the 7 fangs of the North Wind Wolf, I, like, slash away your tendons to halt the coward's flight, and then suddenly you mark off that the 7 fangs of the North Wind Wolf is one of the spirits that you can access, and then it's just kind of like vibes-based. Like, it's just, it has to have some elemental, directional, and like animation anchor in the real world, what it's manifested in the real world, and then some sort of name ascribed to it. So it's, and then I think it would be such a cool system. And then on top of that, I also really want to make a system based off of the sword fighting in Inigo Montoya versus Dread Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride. So I think it would be really fun to have a system where you choose either martial or caster. And if you're a martial, it's all about honor, and it's all about sword fighting, and it's all about how can you weave the narrative of the sword fight into making it the most dramatically satisfying fight possible, which gives you more bonuses to help you win. Versus with spell casting, it's all about how can you world build on the back end, all of the spirits and the gods and the nonsense of the external unseen world into your spells, and how can you fit what you're trying to do into the world, and that determines how successful you are. I am also not left-handed. Exactly. Arrow personal growth is also no. Yeah, personal growth is pretty all right, I guess, but Faust would never. A knock. Come in. Again, my quiet broken. 'Tis I. Come in. Thrice must the words be spoken. Oh, I forgot it. It rhymes. Pog. Come in, then. So, the job's discussed. We shall be firmer friends, I trust. For, to dispel your fancies grim, behold me here, a springald trim, in jerkin red and laced with gold, a cape of stiffest silk, a bold cock feather in my cap, and see, a long sharp rapier to boot. Now prithee be advised by me, and get just another suit, so casting every trammel loose, you'll learn what life is, and its use. In every dress, I'm sure to feel the dire constraints of earthly life severely. I am too old to trifle merely, too young to be without desire. What from the world have I to gain? Thou shalt refrain, thou shalt refrain. This is the everlasting song that's hummed and droned in every ear. With every hour, our whole life long, is croaked to us in cadence drear. I wake each morning in despair, and bitter tears could weep, to see the sun dawn on the day that in its round will ne'er accomplish one poor wish of mine. Not one, yeah, that with froward captiousness? Forward? That with froward captiousness impairs each joy, of which I've dreamt of half its zeal, and with life's thousand mean and paltry cares, clogs the creation of my busy breast. And when at evening's weary close, I lay me down in anguish on my bed, there, even there, for me is no repose, scared as I am by visions wild and dread. The God, whom in my breast abides, though all its depths can stir my soul, my every faculty he sways and guides, yet can he not with lies without control. And thus by life as by a load, oppressed, I long for death, existence I detest. And yet death is never a wholly welcome guest. Oh, happy he whose brows he wins, Oh, happy he, around whose brows he wins, in victory's glorious hour the bloodstained bays, whom on the bosom of his girl he finds, warm from the dance's wild and maddening maze. Oh, had it been, 'neath that high spirit's might, my fate will transcend bliss, is death to sink. In death to sink? Might sink? Oh, drink. Sorry, the rhyme scheme throws me off when it's between characters. Yet was there one who on a certain night, a certain dark brown mixture feared to drink. You have a taste, it seems, for playing spy. Omniscient, no, still few things escape my eye. If, when my brain was racked and reeling, a sweet and old familiar chime beguiled all my childish feeling with memories of a happier time, now do I curse whatever doth pen with wizard coil these souls of ours, and chain them to this dreary den with cozening and deceitful powers. And chief be cursed the proud conceit, which girds our mind as with offence. Cursed be the semblance that cheat, and play and palter with our sense. Cursed be the false and flattering dream of fame, a name beyond the grave. Cursed all that ours we fondly deem, as wife and child, as plough and slave. Be Mammon cursed, when he with pelf inspires to deeds where else renown, when he to sought and pamper self makes silken smooth our couches of down. On wine's balsamic juice a curse of love's ecstatic thrall, a curse of hope, on faith, and worse, on patience be my curse them all. Woe, woe be upon ye, say the invisible spirits. Thus hath it laid low the beautiful world with merciless blow. It totters, it crumbles, it tumbles abroad, shattered and crushed by a demigod. We trail the ruins to chaos away, and wail the beauties that lost well a day. Of the children of clay, thou mighty one, thou, fairer, more glorious now, built it once more, within thine own bosom build it up. Here a new life career, with the quickened senses commence, and songs unheard before shall chime upon thine ears. These my tiny spirits be, hark with what sagacity they advise thee to pursue action, pleasure ever new. Out into the world so fair, they would lure and lead thee hence, from this lonely chamber where stagnant life and soul and sense. No longer trifle with the wretchedness that, like a vulture, gnaws your life away. The worst society will teach you this. You are man amongst men, and feel as they. Yet 'tis not meant, I pray you see, to thrust you among the rabble rout. I'm none of your great folks, no doubt, but if in fellowship with me, to range through life you are content, I will most cheerfully consent to be your own upon the spot. I am your chum, you'd rather not? Well, if your scruples it will save, I'm your servant, yeah, your slave. Okay, Mephistopheles. Odd sales pitch. And in return, what must I do for you? Oh, time enough to talk of that. Nay, the devil's selfish, is and was always, and is not like for mere God's sake to do a liberal turn to any child of clay. Out with the terms, and plainly, such as thou art dangerous servants in a house, I trow. Such as thou, I trow? I don't know what trow is. I bind myself to serve you here, to do your bidding promptly, whatever so be, and when we come together yonder, you are then to do the same for me. I prize that yonder at a rush, only this world to atoms crush, and then the other may arise, from earth my every pleasure flows. Yon sun doth look upon my woes, let me but part myself from those, then come what may in any guise, to idle prater I'll close mine eyes, if we hereafter hate or love, or if there be in yonder spheres, as here and under and above. As above, so below. You're in the proper mood to venture, blind yourself, and pleasure in my slights you'll find. While this life lasts, I'll give you more than I of man have ever seen. I'll give you more than I of man hath ever seen before. What wilt thou give, thou sorry devil? When were the aspiring souls of men fathomed by such a thing as thee? Oh, thou hast food that satisfieth never. Gold, ruddy gold thou hast, that restlessly slips like quicksilver through the hand forever. A game where we must be losers be. A girl that on my very breast my neighbors woos with smile and wink. Fame's rapturous flash of godlike zeal, that meteor-like is doomed to sink. Show me the fruit that ere 'tis plucked doth rot, and trees that every day grow green anew. Such tasks as this affrights me not. I have such treasures at command for you, but, my good friend, the time draws nigh when we must banquet on the best in peace. I e'er at peace on sluggard's couch I lie, then when my life upon this instant cease, cheat thou me ever glowing thy glozing while, so that I cease to scorn myself, or e'er my senses with a perfect joy beguile, then be the day my last, I offer fair. Wait, what? If e'er at peace on Sliggard's couch I lie, then may my life upon this instant cease. Cheat thou me ever by thy glozing wiles, so that I cease to scorn myself, or e'er my senses with a perfect joy beguile, then be the day my last I offer fair, how sayst thou? So this is the offer of the soul. Done! My hand upon it, there. If to the passing moment ere I say, oh, linger yet, thou art so fair, then cast me into chains you may, then will I die without a care. Then may the death bell sound its call, then art thou from thy service free, the clock may stand, the index fall, and time and tide may cease for me. Think well, we shan't forget the terms you name. You're perfect right, I must allow, not rashly to the pact I came. I am a slave as I am now, yours or another's, 'tis to me the same. Then at the doctor's feast this very day, will I my post as your attendant take. Just one more thing, to guard against mistake. Oblige me with a line or two, I pray. Pendant, must thou have writing too? Hast thou no true man or man's promise known? Is not my word of mouth enough for you to pledge my days for all eternity? Does not the universe go raving on in all its ever edifying currents, free to pass from change to change, and I alone shall mere promise curb or fetter me? Yet doth man's heart so hug the dear deceit, who would its hold without a pang undo? Blessed he whose soul is pure with truth replete, no sacrifice shall ever make him rue. But oh, your stamped and scribbled parchment sheet a spectre is, with all men shrink to view. The word dies ere it quits the pen, and wax and sheepskin lord it then. What would you have, spirit of ill? Brass, marble, parchment, paper? Say, am I to write with pen, or style, or graver? I care not. Choose whichever you will. Why throw your elegance away, or give it such a pungent savor? Pshaw! Any scrap will do. 'Tis quite the same. With the least drop of blood, just sign your name. If that will make you happy, why, a claim so very whimsical I'll freely favor. Blood is a juice of quite peculiar kind. Fear not that I, the compact will evade. My life's sole struggle, heart and mind, chimes with the promise I have made. Too high I've soared, too proudly jumped. I've only peer for such as thee. The mighty spirit spurns me with contempt, and nature veils her face from me. Though chains is snapped for many days, I've loathed all knowledge every way. So quench we now our passion's fires, in sense and sensual delights, unveil all hidden magical sleights, to minister to our desires. Let us plunge in the torrent of time, and range through the weltering chaos of change and change, then pleasure and pain, disaster and gain, may course one another down my brain. Change and excitement may work as they can. Rest there is none for the spirit of man. To you is set, nor goal nor stint. If you'd sip the sweetest of everything, and hawk at pleasure upon the wing, much joy, I'm sure, I wish you'd in it. Only fail to, and don't be coy. Again I say, my thoughts are not of joy. I devote myself to the whirl and roar, to the bliss that throbs with the pulse like pain, to the hate that we dote on and fondle o'er, to defeat that in spirits both nerve and brain. Of its passion for knowledge cured, my soul henceforth shall expand to all forms of woe, and all that is all human nature's dole, in my heart of hearts I shall feel and I know. With highest, lowest, in spirit I shall cope, pile on my breast their joys, their griefs, their cares, so all men's souls shall come within my scope, and mine at last go down a wreck like theirs. Oh, trust to me, who have through many a year on this tough moral chewed the cud, that from the cradle to the bier, no man of mortal flesh and blood hath ever digested the old leaven. Trust one of us, this whole so vast is only for the God of heaven. In everlasting radiance, he is glassed, us hath he into outer darkness cast, and you mortals, only may see day succeed to night, and night to day. Nay, but I will. That's well enough to say, only I don't quite see my way. Art's long, time's short, you'd best permit yourself to be advised a bit. Club with a poet soaring free, let him the realm of fancy sweep, and every noble quality upon your honored forehead heap. The lion's magnanimity, 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 The lion's generosity, the fleetness of the hind, the fiery blood of Italy, the northern's constant mind, let him for you the art divine, high aims with cunning to combine, and with young blood at fever full, to love on system and by rule. A gentleman of such a kind, I should myself be glad to find, and sooth by me so rare a wight, should be Sir Microcosmos height. What am I, then, if never by no art the crown of mortal nature may be gained, for which our ever energy is strained? Thou art, when all's done, what thou art. A periwig with countless ringlets by, array thy feet in socks at cubit high. Still thou wilt remain just as well what thou art. 'Tis true, I feel, in vain have I amassed within me all the treasures of man's mind, and when I pause and sit me down at last, no new power welling inwardly I find. A hairbreadth is not added to my height. I am no nearer to the infinite. Faust, really? Your concern when it comes to unlimited cosmic power is you want a hairbreadth added to your height? You want to get taller? Are you a short king that is not actually a short king because you're super self-conscious about it? Good sir, you view these matters just as any common mortal would, but take a higher strain we must, nor let life's joys our grasp elude. Why, what the deuce? Sure, foot and hand and blood and brain are yours, and what I can enjoy, control, command, is it the less my own for that? If I for 6 horses can pay, their powers are added to my store. A proper man I dash away, as though I had legs 24. Up then, no more a dreamer be, but forth into the world with me. I tell you what, your speculating wretch is like a beast upon a barren waste, round ever round by an ill spirit chased, whilst all about him fair green pastures stretch. Faust's supreme commander read, no, he's just self-conscious. But how begin? We start at once. Ugh, what a place of torture dire. Call you this life, yourself to tire, and some few youngsters, each a dunce, leave that to the neighbor paunch to do. Why plague yourself with threshing straw? What's best of all that's known to you, you dare not tell these striplings raw. I hear one now upon the stair. I cannot see him. Long and late, poor boy he's waited, in despair. We must not send him from the gate. Give me your cap and gown, the mask you'll see will fit me to a hair. Now leave it all to my wit, I ask thee, but 15 minutes, go now, there, and for a pleasant trip prepare. So now he's like, Faust is gone, and Mephistopheles is putting on his outfit. Only scorn, reason, knowledge, all that can give strength or might or dignity to man, and let thyself be only one more and more, besotted by the spirits of lies with faith in necromantic lore. It's shams, delusions, sorceries, and thou art mine beyond recall. Fate to this man a soul has given, that brooks not to be held in thrall. But onward evermore is driven, and, on its own mad fancies bent, in earth's delight finds no content. Him will I drag through all the fires of passions, appetites, desires, through all the dull and meaning round of man and woman, sight and sound. Oh, he shall sprawl, be stunned, stick fast in sheer bewilderment at last. His longings infinite to wet, dainties and drinks shall dance before his fevered lips, nor shall he get the peace he'll pray for evermore. Here and ever after, as he are marked for doom, and even altogether, he had not sold himself to me. He must perforce have come to woe. And even though he had not sold himself to me, he must perforce have come to woe. So, what I'm getting from this, Faust didn't actually sell his soul, at least not yet. He needs to do the blood thing, and he didn't do that yet. So, Mephistopheles is going to run him through the ringer of worldly pleasures, sin, temptation, and he's basically going to have him damn himself, is my understanding. To the town not quite recently I came, and make it, sir, my earliest care, to see and talk with one whose name is named with reverence everywhere. You're too polite. A man, you see, like scores of other men in me. Elsewhere have you not found your way? Take me in hand, oh do sir, and pray. I've every wish, nay, have in truth, a very passion to be taught. Some money, too, and health and youth. My mother scarcely could be brought to part with me, but come I would to learn whatever 'tis best I should. If really be such the case, you've come to just the proper place. Yet I, the honest truth to say, already wish myself away. These walls and lecture rooms I find by no means of a pleasant kind, all so close, so cramped, so mean. No trees nor anything that's green, mused up in them, my spirits sink. I neither hear nor see nor think. Hello, just a reminder, Faust is very mouse. No, you can't just call someone that. Habit alone curses that. just so the child at first will not, you know, take kindly to its mother's breast, but soon it suckles there with zest. Even thus at wisdom's breast will you each day find new pleasure ever new. Upon her neck I'll hang with joy. The way to clamber there, do you, sir, only say? Here you go further, say, on which of all the faculties you fanciest pitch. Sir, my ambition is to be a scholar widely read and sound, all things on earth, in heaven, or sea, to grasp with comprehensive view, in short, to master all the round of science and of nature too. You're on the right track, only don't get scatterbrained in the pursuit. Oh, never, sir, never fear, sir, that I won't. Body and soul I'll buckle to it. Yet, should I like upon occasion some freedom, some small relaxation, when skies are bright and fields are gay, upon a summer's holiday? Use well your time, so fast it flies, yet method teaches in what wise of time itself you may make prize, and, first and foremost to that end, I counsel you, my dear young friend, a course of logic to attend. Your mind will then be so well braced, in Spanish boots so tightly laced, that henceforth by discretion taught, 'twill creep along the path of thought, and not, with all of the winds that blow, go willow-wisping to and fro. Then many a good day will be spent in teaching that the things you use to knock off at a stroke, will with just as little thought or pains as went, to eating or to drinking must be the first, second, third produced. The web of thought, we may assume, is like some triumph of the loom, where one small simple treadle starts 1,000 threads to motion, where the flying shuttle shoots and darts, now over here, now under there. We look, but see not how, so fast threads blend with thread, and twines and mixes, when, lo! One single stroke at last, 1,000 combination fixes, in steps me then philosophy, and proves that, being set in certain grooves, thing which have passed between your eyes, could by no chance be otherwise. The first was so, the second so, ergo the third and fourth ensued. But given no first and second, no third, no fourth could, had been or could. Scholars in matters of this kind are everywhere profound believers, yet none of them, that I can find, have signalized themselves as weavers. He that would study and portray a living creature thinks it fit to start with finding out the way to drive the spirit out of it. This done, he holds within his hand the pieces to be named and stated, bah! The spirit tie that spanned and knit them has evaporated. This process chemic science pleases to call nature en chasse. I don't know. And in the very doing so, it makes it of itself a mock and does not know it. I don't entirely comprehend. In that respect, you'll quickly mend, when once you learn with true insight to classify all things aright. I'm so perplexed with what you've said, that just for all the world I feel as if some clattering mill wheel were turning in my head. Before all the other studies, you must metaphysics next pursue. There see you profoundly scan what ne'er was meant for brain of man. Be thought or no thought in your head. Fine phrases there will do instead. And mind that this half year and all, you do your most methodical. 5 hours of lecture daily, so be in your seat right to the minute. Prepare the subject ere you go. Be thoroughly well read up on it. Thus, see that the professor's stating no more than all the textbooks show, yet still write down each word, as though he were the Holy Ghost dictating. No need to say that to me twice. I see 'tis excellent advice, for we take home and study quite at ease, but down in black and white. But choose some faculty. Of jurisprudence I rebel. At the mere name of jurisprudence I rebel. In that, I own, you're not so much to blame, for what that science is, I know full well. Laws are transmitted, as one sees, just like inherited disease. They're handed down from race to race, as noiseless glide from place to place. Reason they turn to nonsense, worse, they make benefice of curse. Ah me, that you're a grandson you, as long as you're alive shall rue, the law which is within us, placed at birth, unhappily about. That law, there's never any doubt. Your words have heightened my distaste. Oh, the fortunate men whom you vouchsafe to give instruction to. I almost think theology would be the best study for me. Would be the study best for me. I should not wish, friend, to mislead you, yet in the branch of lore indeed, you will find it hard to keep away from paths that carry far astray. In it much hide poison lies, which you may fail to recognize, nay, will most probably confound with the true medicine around. But here again one rule's clear, to one and but one guide give ear. Take all his words as gospel in, and swear by them through thick and thin. As a broad principle, hold on by words, words, words. So you, Anon, is Mephistopheles a 4chaner? He called someone Anon. So you, Anon, through their unfailing doors, the fane of perfect certainty will gain. But surely, sir, a meaning should in words be always understood? No doubt, no doubt. Yet, 'twere 'Twere absurd upon the point to feel too much concern, since just when meaning fails, a word comes partly in to serve your turn. Words, my young friend, why, nothing suits so well as matter for disputes. With words your system you can weave in. Words are such a fine thing to believe in, and for a word no jot nor tittle can be distracted, much or little. I fear my numerous questions tease you, yet once more I must trouble you. On medicine I would fain, so please you, receive a pregnant word or two. 3 years, they slip away so fast, on heavens, the field is quite too vast. Still, with a hint, a man may hope his way more to success to grope. This prosing bores me, I must play the devil now in my own. Well, any simpleton may seize the soul of medicine with ease. You simply study through and through the world of man and nature too, to end with leaving things to God, to make or mar them. 'Tis in vain that you go moring all about, picking up science grain by grain. Each man learns only what he can, but he that has the gift and power to profit by the passing hour, he is your proper man. You're not ill-built, will, I conceive, show metal on occasion do. If you but believe, if but in yourself believe, others will then believe in you. Especially be sure to find the way to manage the womankind, their everlasting ohs and ahs of this to be sure, whatever their fashion or their cause, all from one point admit of cure. With air respectable and demure, approaches they advance, and mum, you have them all beneath your thumb. But a degree must first instill conviction in them that your skill surpasses all other people's. Then, at once, they make you free of those tete-a-tete endearments small, years scarce secure for other men. The little pulse adroitly squeeze, with look of fire with passion seize, and boldly clasp the tapering waist, to see if it be tightly laced. Oh, that is much more in my way. One sees at least the where and how. Dear friend, all theory is gray, and green's life's golden tree. I vow, I'm like one in a dream. Might I intrude on you some other time, to hear your wisdom make the grounds of all this clear? So as far as I can serve you, I will try. I cannot tear myself away. Let me before you, sir, my album lay, some small memorial of your favor pray? With all my heart. Writes and returns the book. Oh, did he just give him an autograph? Oh, Erete sicut Deus, science bonum et malum. Something God, science is good and evil. Closes it reverently and retires. What is this? I'm just gonna do a very basic search. This says it's English. I don't think it is. I think it's Latin. Okay. Google thinks that this is English. I'm just gonna move on with my life. Take for your law the ancient saw, and the cousin of mine, the snake, and with that likeness of yours to... Oh, it retires, okay. Take for your law the ancient saw, and the cousin of mine, the snake, and with that likeness of yours to God, your heart is like to break. And now where shall we go? You've but to name what place you choose, to me 'tis quite the same. Suppose we see the small folk first, and then upon the great ones burst. With what delight, what profit too, you'll revel the peasant circuit through. But with my long beard can I face society? I want the grace, the easy, smooth, and polished air, that of a man's expected there. Nor could I learn it, if I would. Adapt myself I never could, to what the world demands of all, and in a crowd I feel so small. 'Tis certain I shall always be embarrassed when in company. He's just me for real. All that will come in time. Be self-possessed. In that one word is life's whole art expressed. But how are we to travel? Where's horses, servants, carriage, pray? This cloak out so we've but to lay, and 'twill transport us through the air. In this bold trip no need to cumber yourself with luggage and such lumber. A little gas, which I've at hand, will waft us straight o'er sea and land. And as we travel lightly too, on a rattling pace we'll spin. I wish you joy, friend, on the new career of your life you now begin. Okay, so this is just Aladdin, where they're going on a magic carpet ride. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting the yowie between Faust and Mephistopheles. However, I'm here for it. Okay, so Faust has not signed in blood. And Mephistopheles made it clear that he's going to basically corrupt Faust, but he has yet to actually sign. So he has not sold his soul yet, as far as I'm aware. Right? And now Mephistopheles is basically corrupting this Ute, this random student. Interesting. I was expecting, like, by the end of Act 1, the deal to be made. But like they're really kind of edging it. So now it's gonna be Mephistopheles showing Faust the wonders of the world if you just like sell your soul and whatever. A drinking party of boon companions. Will nobody drink? Is there never a joke among you or a bit of fun to poke? At other times you blaze away, but egad, you're all like damp straw today. Your fault. You do nothing but make us jolly. No beastliness, no stupid folly. There's both for you. Brute! Brute! My lad of wax, now you've caught it. Any fellow that quarrels, kick him out. Come, clear your throats, boys. Swill and shout. Hip, hip, huzzah! I'm lost. Oh dear. Some cotton, this rowdy splits my ear. Until the vaults and with the echo rear, the strength of the brass you never feel. Right! Those that don't like it needn't stay. Ah, ta-da-la-la-da! What? Our throats are tuned up, so fire away. The dear old Roman Empire, how does it manage to hang together? I'm just gonna speak this, because I'm not singing this. Oh no, Brander's is literally a filthy song, a political song. Fee, a most offensive song, I say. Thank God each morning you have not to take care of that same Roman Empire got. I hold it a thing to be grateful for, that I'm neither Kaiser nor Chancellor. Still, we should have a chief, and I hope, we shall, we must elect a pope. I need not tell you, as far as you're aware, what qualities weigh heaviest there, and lift a man into the chair. Fly away, Lady Nightingale, over the mountain and over the dale. Fly to my sweetheart out over the sea, and greet her 1,000 times for me. Fi? Right, fee, fi, fo, fum? Oh, understood. It means shame. No greetings, ho, to sweetings, 'tis exceedingly improper. I'll greet her, I'll kiss her, treat her, you shan't put me on a stopper. Undo the bolts at dead of night, and let the lad that loves you in, but in the grave the morning light, bar him without, and yourself within. Oh, that's wild to say. Sing on! Our ears with her perfections dine? My time will come to laugh when you look blue. She led me a fool's dance, and so will she lead you. I'd give her for a lover a hobgoblin, to toy with her on crossroads in the dark, and an old buckgoat, back from the Blocksberg hobbling, might tickle her up in passing for a lark. The blood and bone of any stout young blade are too much good for such an errant jade. No, the only greeting I'll hear of is smashing all the gypsies' windows clear off. You shouldn't say that word. You're not supposed to say that. Silence! To me give ear. You'll admit that I know what's here. We have some love-sick spoonies here, and I must treat them to something pat, and like to enliven their doleful cheer. Of the very last fashion is my strain, full chorus, mind for the refrain. Once in the cellar there lived a rat, his punch it grew a thumper, for he lived on nothing but butter and fat, not Luther's self was plumper. The cook laid poison for him one day, and he fell into temporal... Sorry, I was trying to do it quickly as I'm reading it, and also doing a impromptu rhythm. I think that might actually be the rhythm. Once in the cellar there lived a rat, his punch it grew a thumper, for he lived on nothing but butter and fat, not Luther's self was a plumper. Or plumper. I think it was lower. The cook laid poison for him one day, and he fell into a terrible way, as of love's tortures twinged him. Wait, huh? I don't know. I'm gonna stop attempting this because I don't actually know what this melody is. And he ran out, and he ran out and round about, and he could not think of what ailed him, and he scratched and clawed and nibbled and gnawed, but his fury not availed him. He felt the pain shoot from head to foot, 'twas soon all upon him, poor prude, as of love's tortures twinged him, in pain, in dismay, in broad noonday, he dashed into the kitchen. Oh. Alas, unknown cadence. I could look it up, but I don't really care that much. Fell down on the hearth, and there he lay, convulsed with a woeful twitching. But the cook, she laughed with his pain she spied. Ha ha, he's at his last... Sorry. I'm a cook. There's a rat. I poison the rat. The rat starts dying. I look at it and go, ha ha, he's at his last gasp. As if love's tortures twinged him. How easy it is to tickle flats, to lay down poison for poor rats, is wit of such spicy flavor. No doubt they stand high in your favor. Fat Gunts is down in his luck, 'tis that makes him soft-hearted and dejected. Poor devil, he sees in the bloated rat the image of himself reflected. I must say, the cook played by Nelson from The Simpsons, oh no. What I will say, I have multiple male friends who I'm very close with, and a lot of them have gone through breakups. and a lot of them have talked to me about how they feel after a breakup, and I've supported them through it. And I'm talking like a 7-year-long relationship breakup. I'm talking about like a girl who he was sleeping with for like a month. I'm talking about someone who like he thought was his soulmate. I'm talking someone he was just really into. I'm talking about like he was the rebound. I'm talking she was the rebound. Like all these different relationships. And the more media portrays men after a heartbreak as just being absolutely sad, pathetic, like wet rags, I laugh every time because I've seen that in real life. And it's just one of those things where it's when you don't have the experience of that in your life, of like actual real life men that you know who have gone through something similar and they react the exact same way, it feels stupid and ridiculous, but it is very funny to me. Like Phenomenon from Dispatch, how after he gets broken up with by Blonde Blazer, which I guess is technically a spoiler, but whatever. He's like, you know, I thought I was going to fly into the sun and absorb all of its rays in order to black out the world so that I might never see her or anyone else again. I'm like, yeah, that's the sort of thing my friends have said. Arrow, let us be. No, EJ, you don't understand. I'm not saying that men shouldn't be sad. I'm saying I think it's funny when media portrays exactly the same level of silliness that I've seen in my friends. I'm not saying this to encourage men to change their behavior. I'm saying I think we should have more depictions of men post-breakup reacting like this because I've seen it happen so many times. And I am of the opinion that I think that's also something where, very much so, I think the average man isn't going to show everyone that. They're only going to show the people that they're close to and they trust emotionally, which usually is not that very many people. It's normally just the boys when you're drunk, and or if you have non-male friends who you're close to and like in a platonic friendship with, you might trust them. For instance, that's my role that I often fulfill. It is very funny to me, and I want to see this more because I chuckle to myself because every time I see a man be like, oh, he sees himself in the bloated rat, the image of himself reflected after being dejected, I'm just like, yeah, you're my buddy. You're just like my friend for real. Arrow laughs at the suffering of lost loves and love scorn. Okay, I don't laugh at the suffering of it. I laugh at the depiction of it in media. I'm saying the depiction in media because I look at it and I see my friends. That's what I'm getting at. Before all things, I must bring you to a circle of jolly dogs, that you may see how lightly life can sit. Every day is a feast with such hard-drinking fellows as these, with much self-satisfaction and little wit. Day after day, they may all be found, spinning along the same narrow round, like a young kitten pursuing its... I yawn, I'm sorry. Like a young kitten pursuing its tail. So long as their heads don't ache or ail, and with mind hosts they can score their way, no care or misgiving at all have they. Strangers, and just arrived this clear, their cut and deportment are so queer, not been an hour in town, I'll swear. For once you're right, old fellow there. Leipzig, forever, 'tis Paris and small, it gives us a style, sir, a style to us all. For what do you these strangers take? Just leave them to me. In a brace of shakes, out of these fellows I'll worm the truth, as easy as draw you a young child's tooth. Noblemen, I should say they were, they've got such a haughty, dissatisfied air. Mountebanks, that's all their level, perhaps. I'll trot them, pray you note. These scum would never surmise the devil, although he had them by the throat. Your servants, sir. The same to you. Limps on one foot, so queerly too. Besides, we leave our chairs to set, instead of good drink then, which we here cannot get. We shall have your good company for cheer. You're mighty hard to please, it would appear. Just fresh from Rippick, ain't ye? I dare say you supposed now with Squire Hans upon the way. Today we galloped past his door, but had much to talk with him this time before, about his cousins here, and he presents to each of you through special compliments. That's home! A knowing dog, a biting wit. I'll serve him out, you'll see. Just wait a bit. Did we not hear? I can't be wrong. Well-practiced voices chanting in chorus. No doubt the vaulted ceilings o'er us must echo rarely to a song. You're a connoisseur of some pretense? Oh no, my powers are weak, my love immense. Tip us up a stave, a score if you inclined. Brand new, then, let us be, some jolly strain. We have quite recently returned from Spain, that beauteous land of song and wine. A king there was, be it noted, who had a lusty flea. Mark him a flea. You take the jest? Now, by my faith, a royal guest. Who knew Mephistopheles had pipes? Ariane's adorably at the thought of a kittens, for they are not dogs. I went to bed. At my normal time, but it was a bit late. And I only got like 4 hours of sleep the previous night. So I'm tired. I considered canceling stream today because I was going to bed last night and I was so tired. I'm like, I don't want to wake up for stream. But I realized it was only going to be like 2 hours. So all is well. What was I doing? Oh, right. Mephistopheles is singing. A king there was, be it noted, who had a lusty flea. And on this flea he doted and loved him tenderly. A message to the tailor goes, swift came the man of stitches. Ho, measure the youngster here for clothes, and measure him for breeches. Mind you, impress on Snip to take, especially care about the fit, and, as he loves his head to make, the breeches without wrinkles sit. In silk and satin on the beast, soon was their flea arrayed there. Ribbons had he upon his breast, likewise a star displayed there. Prime Minister anon he grew, with stars of huge dimensions, and his kindred, male and female too, got titles, ranks, and pensions. And lords and ladies, high and fair, were grievously tormented. Sore bitten the queen and her maidens were, but they did not dare resent it. They even were afraid to scratch, however our friends might rack them. But we without a scruple catch, and when we catch we crack them. But we without a scruple catch, and when we catch we crack them. Bravo! First rate! The race of fleas. So perish all the race of fleas, both great and small. Catch me them daintily on the hip, between the nail and the fingertip. Huzzah for freedom! Huzzah for wine! To pledge a bumper glass to freedom, I'll be glad, were not this wine of yours so execrably bad. Let's hear no more of that, Sir Superfine, but that our hosts were apt to be offended. I'd give those worthy fellows here from our own cellar something splendid. I'll make that square, so never fear. Make good your words, and you're a trump. The sample I charge you, though, to make it ample, for if I had to judge a tipple, I must have a good mouthful to judge it by. So ho, they're from Rhine, I see. A gimlet here? From what, now, can that be? You haven't got a hogshead at the door? The landlord's tool chest yonder on the floor. Now, say for which you have a mind. What? Have you them of every kind? Name each of his choice, strong, sparkling, old, or heady. Aha, your lips are watering already. Let it be Rhenish, if I may command. For best of cheer, I'll back old fatherland. Boring a hole into the edge of the table where Frosh is sitting. A little wax to stop the hole. Quick, quick. Psh, this palpably a juggler's trick. And you? Champagne for me, creaming and sparkling cheerfully. Mephistopheles bores. Meanwhile, one of the party has made stoppers of wax and stopped the holes. Eep! I threw my ring on accident. One can't always put foreign gear aside. For good things we have often far to go. Frenchmen no real German can abide. He drinks their wine without a scruple thought. The sour, I own, I can't get away with. Pure sweet, I'd like a glass of that. You shall, sir, have Tokay to play with. No, sir, no. I'll tell you what, you're making game, you are of us. That were somewhat too venturous with men of mark like you. You doubt it? Quick, tell me without more ado what wine I am to serve for you. Any, so that you don't stand haggling long about. After all the holes have been bored and stoppers put into them. Wine grapes of the vine are born. Front of he goat sprouts with horn. Wine is juice and vine stalks wood. Wood and board yields wine is good. Here is nothing for him that sees into nature's mysteries. Miracle when you receive. You have only to believe. Now draw your stoppers and fall to. As they draw the stoppers and the wine each has selected runs into his glass. Oh, fountain beautiful to view. Be very careful, drink your fill, and see that not to drop you spill. As savagely jolly as any 500 porkers. These sots from all restraints are freed, and so are blessed, and blessed indeed. I'm sick of this, and would be gone. Only a little moment stay, you'll see a glorious display of what mere beasts they are anon. Drinks carelessly, wine is spilt on the ground and turns into flame. Help! Hell's broke loose! We are all shent! Be quiet, kindly element. This time 'twas nothing but a tiny spark of purgatorial fire, not worth remark. Just wait, and your coxcomb I'll mar. You do not know it. It strikes me who we are. His trick's a second time, just let him try. Let's send him the right about, I say I. Confound you, coming to provoke us. We'll play off your hocus pocus. Silence, old vat. You broomstick, you. And so you'd fain be saucy too? Wait, and I'll thrash you back black and blue. Stops a drawer from the table. Fire shoots out towards him. I burn! I'm all on fire! The wizard! Down with him! Stake him through the gizzard! They draw their knives and make a rush at Mephistopheles. Voices that delude the ear, forms that mock the eye appear. Let the distance seem the near, and be ye there, and be ye here. They sit in amaze and stare at each other. Where am I? What a lovely land! Vineyards, how strange, and grapes that court the hand. Here, under these green leaves by me. See, what a stem, what branches, see. The rest do the same with each other and brandish their knives. Phantoms of delusion rise, lift the bandages from their eyes, and take note, ye swinish soaks, in what wise the devil jokes. He disappears with Faust. The toppers recoil from one another. What's this? How's this? Was that your nose? Oh, and yours, too, see, my fingers close. It sent a shock through all my limbs. A chair, I'm falling, my head swims. What ails you? Where is he? Where? Let me but catch the knave, he dies, I swear. Out of the cellar door stride, a huge wine turn I saw him ride. I feel like lead about the feet. Zounds, should the wine be running yet? 'Twas all sham, a trick, a cheat. Yet that it was wine, I would bet. But how about the grapes? Well, after that, doubt miracles who may, I won't, that's flat. Okay, so they just went over to like screw with some drunks and Mephistopheles was showing off his power, I guess? Sweepy air, no, not cute. Nothing cute. I'm tired. I have a big, oversized, comfy sweater. It has Christmas trees on it and a big hood, and it's really comfy. And so I'll be in that in pajama shorts, and it's really cozy. I'm tired. But I have more Faust to read. I can finish Act 2 today. I only have two more scenes. I don't need more. I don't take naps, though I am tired. There's a cat asleep on my bed. I could cuddle with a cat and just nap. No, I'm awake. Bundled up on top, shorty shorts in the back. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's a super comfy fit. I do love me the really big comfy sweater and then really tiny like pajama shorts. Like, it's very cozy. The siren song of a napping cat. No, it's not a siren song. It's just like this cat has been sleeping on the foot of my bed. It's my roommate's cat. And my roommate like gets back today. I think that she might already be back. She's just out at work right now. So like this cat has been staying the night with me like for the past week while my roommate's been gone. But now she has just started hanging out in my room during the day because I'll like be on my computer, I'll be working, I'll be editing, I'll be streaming or whatever, and she'll just be like chilling in the background. And it's so nice to just have a little kitty cat, even if it's not my cat. Okay, we have 2 scenes remaining. I'm gonna drink some water. A large cauldron suspended upon the fire upon a low hearth. Through the fumes that ascend from it, various figures are visible. A female ape sits beside the cauldron skimming it, and watching that it does not boil over. The male ape with the young ones sit near her, and warms himself. Walls and ceiling are decorated with witches' furniture of the most fantastic kind. I loathe this wizard rubbish. You maintain that in this chaos of a crazy brain I shall my wasted strength repair, take a counsel of an aged hag, oh shame! Can the foul mess that simmers there strike 30 winters from my despair? If you know nothing better, I despair. Already do I feel, to hope were vain, hath nature, hath some soul of noble strain, discovered no elixir anywhere? Now, with your old sagacity you speak, there's a natural recipe for youth, but you for that must in another volume seek, and there it makes a striking chapter too. What is its nature? Tell me what? Look you, a remedy to be got. Yawn. Look you, a remedy to be got. Sans sorcery, gold, or medicine, hence to the fields at once. Begin to hack and delve with might and main. Yourself and your desires confine within the very narrowest lane. On simple food you yourself sustain, with beasts live as beast, and think it not a bore, yourself to dug the field you are to reap. This, trust me, is the best of ways to keep the fire of youth within you to fourscore. I'm not used to toil, and 'tis too late to force myself to wield the spade. A life so bare, so cramped, will drive me to despair. Then is the witch our sole resource. But why this bedlam? Can you without her aid? Cannot you without her aid the potion brew? That were fine waste of time. Go to. Rather would I 1,000 bridges build within the time 'twould take to brew. No matter how you may be skilled, you must give tireless patience to it. A quiet spirit works at it for years. Time, only time, the fermentation clears, and concentrates its subtle force. All the ingredients of the stew are wondrous in their kind and source. The devil taught the twitch 'tis true, but make it that he cannot do. A handsome brood as ever was. This is the lad, and this is the lass. The dame is not home, it seems. She takes her house outside the house, up by the chimney upon the beams. And how long is she apt to stay, when she is out for such a cause? We just have time to warm our paws, and nothing more while she's away. How like you then, the dainty brutes? Such loathsome creatures have I never seen. Nay, a chat like this, I ween, is just the thing that best my fancy suits. Tell me, you whelps accursed, what you are stirring there at such a rate. Coarse beggar's broth we boil and stew. Your custom for it will be great. Tarry not, but in a trice, shake the boss and fling the dice. I am poor, so let me win. Poverty is such a sin. But if money once I had, who would say that I was mad? How happy now it would the monkey make, if in the lottery he may only stake. The young apes, who have meanwhile been playing with a large globe, roll it forward. This is the world, evermore twirled, round about, destined to bound about. Mounting and sinking like crystal clinking, smashing like winkling, certain to follow. All within hollow here 'tis over bright, all ever more bright. So jolly am I out of the way, old boy, touch it not, you're booked, you must die. 'Tis nothing but clay that goes in the pot. For what is this sieve here? Came you to thieve here? Straight 'twould show me why you came. Runs to the she-ape and makes her look through it. Through the sieve, look! Dost thou recognize the thief, and now art afraid to name his name? And this pot? The crack-brained sot, he knows not the pot, he knows not the kettle, unmannerly brute. Look ye now, put the whisk in your hand and settle down on the settle, and sit down on the settle. Faust, who has meanwhile been standing before a mirror, now advancing forward and now retiring from it. What form divine is this that seems to live within the magic glass before mine eyes? Oh, love, to me thy swiftest pinion give, and waft me to the region where she lies. Oh, if I star beyond this spot and dare advance to scan it with where nearest gaze, the vision fades and dies as in a haze. A woman's form beyond expression fair. Can women be so fair? Or must I deem it in this recumbent form I see revealed the quintessence of all that heaven can yield? On earth can aught be found a beauty so supreme? Why, when a god works hard for 6 whole days, and when his task is over says, bravo, then he should turn out something to amaze. It is nothing more than natural, you know. Gaze on your fill, as choice a treasure, my power for you can soon provide, and happy he beyond all measure, who has the luck to bear home such a bride. He continues to phase into the mirror. Mephistopheles lounging on the settle and playing with the whisk continues. Here, like a king upon my throne, I sit. My scepter here, my crown though, where is it? Who up to this time have been indulging in all sorts of fantastic gambles, bring Mephistopheles a crown with loud acclamations. Ordain with a flood of sweat and blood, the crown to belime. They handle it awkwardly and break it into 2 pieces, with which they dance round and round. 'Tis done! Hee! We speak and we see, we hear and we rhyme. Woe's me, as though I should go mad, I feel. Why, even my head, too, begins to reel. And if we make it a lucky hit, and if the words fallen and fit, those begotten with the jingle seems to interweave and mingle. My breast is on fire, let us away, even now 'tis my peace too late. Well, every one that must own that they are candid poets at any rate. The cauldron, which the she-ape has neglected in the interim, begins to boil over. A great flame shoots out and rushes up the chimney. The witch comes shooting down the chimney with a horrible shriek. Ow, 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 confounded beast, accursed sow, neglecting the cauldron and singeing your dame. You beast accursed, I'll brain you, I'll lame you. What do I see here? Who may you be here? What do you seek here? How did you sneak here? May fire pangs fierce your marrow pierce. She dips the skimming ladle into the cauldron and sprinkles flames on Faust, Mephistopheles, and the apes. The apes whimper. Inverting the whisk, which he holds in his hand, and laying it about among the glasses and pots. To smash, with all your trash. There goes your stew, there goes your glass. You see, we too are just can pass. You carrion, we can match your feet. A good time, you see, to your tune we beat. As the witch recoils full of rage and amazement. Dost thou recognize me now? Scarecrow, Atomy, dost thou recognize thy lord and master? What holds my hand that I should not blast her? Her and her monkey sprites together is all respect within the three dead. For me and with thee dead, for me and for my doublet red, dost recognize not the cock's feather? Have I so masked my face? My name must I on the housetops proclaim? Master, forgive my rough salute, but yet I see no cloven foot, and where may your two ravens be? For this time that apology may pass, for 'tis, I can't forget, a long while now since last we met. Besides, the march of intellect, which into shape as time runs on, is licking all the world upon the devil's self has no effect. The northern goblin no more shocks the sense. Horns, tails, and claws are things you never see. As for the foot, with which I can't dispense, that which society might injure me, and therefore I may for many years have, like young buckish cavaliers, among the upper circles gadded, with calves most curiously padded. Okay, so he's basically saying that, like, I used to be in a more, like, devil, evil, goblin form, and I've shifted, and you're fine, like, I accept your apology because it's been a while, and last time I came here, I was in, like, goblin mode. I feel as if I were mad with sheer delight to see once more Dan Satan here. Woman, that name offends my ear. Wherefore? What wrong has it done you? Tut. It has been written down for many a day, with other things that men call fables, but no whit the better off for that they are. The wicked one they certainly ignore, but wicked ones are numerous as before. If a name I must have, call me Baron. That will do, although the title's somewhat flat. A squire of quite a high degree am I, as any squire can be. My gentle blood, you doubt not. There's the escutcheon that I bear. Makes an obscene gesture. I think he's just like either middle finger or like finger in circle fingers, you know, like waka 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 waka. That's just like you, so clever. Always the same mad wag as ever. Mark this, my friend. Whatever the hitch is, this is the way to deal with witches. Hitches, witches. Mephistopheles, I like your slant. Now, gentlemen, what is thee seek? A bumper of your famous brew, your oldest though I must beseek. Years doubly efficacious make it. Right, gladly, here's a flask, I take it. Myself at times in little sips. All traces of stink has left it too. I'll give it too cheerfully to you. But him there, if it touches his lips, unless he seasoned against its power, you know he cannot live an hour. Oh, he's an especial friend. 'Tis just the thing to serve his end. The best your kitchen can provide, I do not grudge him for his use. So draw your circle and unroll your spells and hand him out the brimming bowl. The witch, with weird gestures, draws a circle and places marvelous things within it. Meanwhile, the glasses begin to ring, the cauldron to sound and make music. Last of all, she fetches a great book, places the apes within the circle, where she makes them serve as a reading desk and holds the torches. She beckons Faust to approach. What is all this to end in, say? These mad paraphernalia, these gestures and distortions frantic, this mess of juggle and of antic, I know them all too well, and in profound aversion hold. All humbug, stuff to laugh at merely, but do not take things too severely. Being a doctor in her way, she must have some hocus-pocus play, in order that you on her juice may the desired effect produce. So she's just a mage, from like World of Darkness. What I'm gathering here is that Mephistopheles is a spirit, presumably of like the worm, because he's like a bane, and that's why he keeps referencing spirits. Then you have her, who is a mage that got power from him. He gave her like interfacing with spirits, but she has her own unique interactions with mana, the ley lines, in order to enact whatever magic that she has, which is why presumably Faust is also a mage. And that's why he could call upon the spirits who could like have a wizard battle with Mephistopheles, as Mephistopheles has these weird... What if Mephistopheles is like from the dreaming? Because like In this, there's been spirits, which I'm taking to be literal spirits. Mephistopheles, not a servant of the worm, but a fae from the dreaming. And the witch and Faust, they're both mages. And this dreaming creature is attempting to like make a fae deal with them. I don't think Mephistopheles is like a devil. I think he's like a fae. I think what we've done is we've discovered that this is just the world of darkness. Waka 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 waka. With great emphasis to claims from her book. This must ye ken, from 1 make 10, drop 2 and then make 3 square, which will make you rich. Skip over the 4, from 5 and 6, in that the tricks, make 7 and 8, and all is straight, and 9 is 1, and 10 is none. This is the witch's 1 times 1. The bedlam's bauble seems as it were ravings of a fever fit. Oh, there's a deal more yet to follow, and just as solid and as hollow. The whole book clinks to the same shime. I know it well, in much good time. Have I lost o'er it, good and serious? For downward contradiction pulls as hard on wise men's brains as fools, and unto both remains alike mysterious, the tricks both old and new. The way at all times was, and 'tis today, by 3 in 1, and 1 in 3, to preach up lines as simple soothe, and sow broadcast by land and sea, delusions in the place of truth. So men talk on nonsense they have ground into the schools, and no one cares to say them nay, for who perplexed himself with fools? Men, for the most part, when they hear words smite with vigor on their ear, believe that thought an entrance finds into the things they call their minds. Science is light, but from the sight of all the world 'tis hidden. Who seeks it not, to him 'tis brought, unnoticed and unbidden. What is this nonsense she is spouting? My head will split anon. I see to hear 100,000 maniacs shouting their lunatics' full chorus in mine ear. Enough, enough, most admirable Sybil. Dispense thy drink, and mind no paltry dribble. Fill up the cup, I fill to the brim. My friend is safe, 'twill do no harm to him. He's taken honors mongst us, aye, and quaffed full many a deep and most potential draught. With many ceremonial pours the drink into the cup. As Faust raises it to his lips, a film of flame shoots out over it. Off with it! Off with it! Leave no drop above! 'Twill warm the cockles of your heart. What, with the devil hand and glove, and yet at flame recoil and start? She dissolves the circle, Faust steps out. Now, forth at once. To rest would mar all quite. Your little drop will do you no good, I trust. And, if in aught I can oblige you, just remind me of it on Walpurgis night. Here's a song. If you at times will sing it, you will find the rhymes produce to you an effect more singular than you expected. Come, come, be guided for your good. 'Tis indispensable you should perspire that so its influence may through all your vitals find its way. Hereafter I will teach you how to prize that prime distinction of noblesse, sheer lounging, listless idleness, and soon you'll feel with sweet surprise how Cupid gambols in the breast and flits and flutters there with exquisite unrest. One glance into the mirror there, that woman's form was all too fair. Nay, nay, thou shalt ere long behold the paragon of womankind, in feature perfect and in mold, warm, living eye, and loving to your mind. With this draught in his body, he in every wench a Helena will see. Understood. My prettiest lady, permit me, do my escort and arm to offer you. Alright, final scene of Act 2. I was not expecting a random, like, witch cameo. I was not expecting ape people who presumably were cursed by the witch. So there's like, the witch made a deal with Mephistopheles ages ago, is keeping herself alive via her potion. And if you drink the potion, you're gonna die unless you've made a deal with Mephistopheles, is what I'm gathering. Mephistopheles can't make it or won't make it or chooses not to make it because it takes too long. So he just makes her make it. He gives the potion to other people like Faust and then corrupts them. In so doing, he sees the world like every woman is a Helena. So I assume like Helen of Troy, I assume that's going to be, he sees every woman is going to be the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. So it's like a corruption thing. My pretty lady, permit me do my escort and arm to offer you. I'm neither a lady nor pretty, and so can go home without an escort. By heavens, girl's lovely. Ne'er have I ever seen so fair. She's so pure, so void of guile. Something snappish too the while. Her lips red, her lips rich red, her cheeks soft bloom, will haunt me to the day of doom. The pretty way she droops her eyes has thrilled my heart in wondrous wise. Her short, sharp manner, half in fright, 'twas charming, fascinating quite. Hark! You must get that girl for me. Get you that girl? What do you mean? She that went by but now. What, she? She has to her confessor been, who gave her, he could scarce do less, full absolution. I was there, lying ensconced behind his chair. Though she had nothing to confess, nothing whatever, to him she went. Poor thing, she is so innocent. Over that girl I have no power. Yet is she 14 every hour? Faust, you are an old man. Faust, you are an old man. Faust, you are an old... Spoken like Sir Rake, who would make a fine prize of every dainty flower he spies, and think all honors, favors may be had for taking any day. But this won't do in every case. Ho, Master Gravers, is it so? You're sermonizing out of place, and, in a word, I'd have you know, unless this very night shall see this sweet young thing in my embrace, all's at end twixt you and me. Think of the obstacles. I should require at least a fortnight good to bring about a meeting merely. In half the time I'll undertake, without the devil's aid, to make a chit like that adore me dearly. Why, by your talk now, one might swear that you almost a Frenchman were. But pray, don't lose your temper so, for where's the good, I'd like to know, of rushing to enjoyment straight? The pleasure's not by much so great, and when you first by every kind of foolish fondling to your mind, the doll contrived to knead and mold, as many Italian tales have told. My appetite, I tell you, wants no such fantastic stimulants. That may be, but apart from all jest, or slight upon you I protest, with this young thing you'll never succeed, by pushing on at racehorse speed. We cannot storm the town in short, so we must stratagem resort. Fetch me some thing she used to wear, her bedroom, introduce me there, a kerchief from her bosom bring, the darling's garter, anything. That you may see I mean to spare, no pains to bring your suit to bear, we shall not lose one moment, nay, we'll bring you to her room this very day. And shall I possess her? No! She will be with a neighbor, so you may, quite undisturbed the while, within her atmosphere beguile, the time be dreaming fancy free, of pleasures afterward to be. Can we go there at once? Oh no, 'tis much too early yet to go. Provide me with some presents straight, from which her fancy captivate. Presents, oh rare. He'll sure to make a hit. Full many a famous place I know, and treasures buried long ago. Well, I must look them up a bit. Oh, a very short scene. Like 3 minutes of a scene. Act 3 has like 9 scenes. I assume at least 2 or 3 of them are probably going to be like this length. So I could do Act 1, I could do Scene 1 of Act 3, just because I basically only did 3 scenes. So I've heard that this is another actually fairly reasonable one. It's not a very long one. I can do this one. I've heard that in Faust, part of it involves him corrupting a young woman and then leading her to temptation and sin. And then sometimes there's a redemption for Faust, and she is involved in his redemption. So it's the idea of like, even if he leads her down to temptation, she can still lead him back from temptation. I really appreciate that Mephistopheles is like, what? No, I can't like give you her. That's weird. Like, she's gonna be with her neighbor. Like, I can break and enter with you. I draw the line at like taking over her mind. Like, if you want me to get a meeting with her, I can do that in a fortnight, but that's the best you're gonna get, which I find kind of funny. Even Mephistopheles ain't as much a freak as Faust is. A tidily appointed little room, braiding and binding up her hair. Who was that gentleman? Hey-ho! I would give something now to know. He looks so frank and handsome. He of noble blood must surely be. That much, at least, his forehead told. He never had ventured else to be so bold. Come in as softly as you may. Leave me alone, alone, I pray. It is not every girl keeps things so neat. Welcome thou. I like how he's just like, huh, she's got a very clean room. I kind of love Mephistopheles here. His representation, his interpretation is so sassy, but also like so silly. He's such a fun character. Faust is a little bit... I dropped my ring. Faust is a little bit of an incel. I'm not going to lie. Faust is a little bit of like, I'm just so smart and no one appreciates me, even though he's literally lauded as a welcome doctor. He's like, I know everything, and I want to know more, and that's why I want to sell my soul. And it's just like, Faust, you little goober. You absolute ingrate. Welcome, thou twilight glimmer sweet, throughout the sanctuary shed. Oh, love's delicious pain that art by dews of hope sustained and fed. Talk absolute position of my heart, how all around there breaths the sense of calm, of order, of content. What pleasant in this indulgence, in this indigence? What plenty in this indigence? In this low cell, what ravishment? Cast himself down upon a leatherman armchair by the bedside. Receive me, thou, that hast with open arm held generations past in joy and moan. Ah, me! How often has a rosy swarm of children clung to his paternal throne. Here did my love, perhaps, with grateful breast for gifts the holy Christ child brought her, stand, her chubby childish cheeks devoutly pressed against her aged grandsire's withered hand. I feel thy spirit, maiden sweet, of order and contentment round me play, that like a mother schools thee day by day, upon the table bids thee lay, the cover folded fresh and neat, and stew the sand that crackles neath the feet. Dear hand, that doth all things with beauty leaven, thou makest, like a god, this lowly home a heaven, and here, raises one of the curtains of the bed. What rapturous tremor shakes me now? Here could I linger hours untold. Here the incarnate angel thou, of nature, didst in airy visions mold. Here lay the child, its gentlest breast, filled with warm life, and hour by hour, the bud, by hand divine caressed, expanded to the perfect flower. And thou, what brings thee hither? I am stirring with strange emotion. Why? What wast thou here? What weight so sore is this that presses on thy heart? O hapless Faust, so changed thou art. I know thee now no more. Is this some enchantment atmosphere encompasses and charms me here? Upon possession's bliss supreme, my soul till now was madly bent, and now in a delicious dream of love I melt away content. Is man, with all his powers so rare, the sport of every gust of air? And if she were to enter now, how would your guilty soul her glances meet? The mighty braggart, ah, how small would bow, dissolved in abject terror at her feet. Dispatch! She's coming to the door. Hence, here I return no more. Here is a casket laden well. I got it. Where? No need to tell. Mephistopheles really said, here, I have this casket. Jump in. Don't ask me where I got it. If you will only place it there within the press, quick. I swear, she'll be beside herself with joy. Some baubles there I've stowed away. For toys we angle with a toy. Pah! Child is child and play is play. I know not. Shall I? Can you ask it? Perhaps you'd like to keep the casket. In that case, friend, I would advise your lechery to economize the precious hours, give up the bubble, and save myself all further trouble. You avaricious? You? Oh no, I won't believe that this is so. I scratch my head, toil might and main. He places the casket in the press and closes the lock. Okay, so it's not a casket that he wants him to hop in. He's like, here, I brought this girl some gifts. I'll say it's from you. Let us be off. Pshaw. Lingering still, the sweet young thing is too gay, and bend her to your wish and will, and here you are to face of gloom, for all the world is as you were just entering your lecture room, and saw before your physics there, and metaphysics grimly stare. Come, start! It is so close, so sultry here, and yet outside 'twas rather chilly. I can't tell how, oh dear. I wish that mother would come in. I have a creeping all over my skin. I'm such a frightened thing, so silly. In Thule dwelt a king, and he was leal unto the grave. A cup to him of the red gold his lemon dying gave. He quaffed in the dregs where he drank among his peers, and ever as he drained it down, his eyes would brim with tears. And when his eyes drew near, he told his kingdom cities up, gave all his wealth upon his heir, but were not with the cup. He sat and feasted at the board, his knights around his knee, within the palace of his sires, hard by the roaring sea. Then up he rode, that helper down, and a long last breath he drew, and down the cup he loved so well into the ocean he threw. He saw it flash, then settle down into the sea, and as he gazed, his eyes grew dim, nor ever again drank he. She opens the press to put away her clothes, and discovers the casket. What's here? How come this lovely casket thus? I'm very confident I locked the press. 'Tis surely most mysterious. What it contains I cannot guess. In pledge for money lent maybe. 'Tis with my mother left to keep. A ribbon and a little key. I've half a mind to take a peep. What's this? Great heavens! All my days the like of this I've never seen. Jewels and trinkets! Such a blaze might grace a duchess, aye, a queen! On me, how would my necklace sit? Whose can they be, these braviers fit? Puts on the trinkets and walks before the looking glass. Oh, if the earrings were but mine! In them one doesn't look the same bit. You may be young, you may be pretty, all very nice and fine to view, but nobody cares a straw for you. And if folks praise, 'tis half in pity. For gold we all strive, for gold all wive. 'Tis gold rules all things neath the sun. Alas, we poor folks that have none. Okay, that was actually another really short one. This is another. Okay, Act 3 seems to be a series of short ones. I think I do one more, right? I do one more because then I'm nearly a third of the way through Act 3. And then it's just Act 3. So I could, like, if these are short, I could finish Act 3 next week. And then I could do Act 4. And then I could do Act 5. There's a part 2 to Faust? What the heck? Well, I guess I'll see if Act 1, if part 1 ends. I am looking to wrap up, but I can do one more. I can do one more. Faust walking up and down, wrapped in thought. To him, Mephistopheles. By love despised and his tortures fell, by all the elements of hell. Oh, would I only know something worse, that I might cram it into a curse. What's wrong? What puts you in such a case? In all my life, I never saw such a face. The devil's self, if I were not, I'd pitch myself to him on the spot. What has befallen to rob you of your whips? How well on you this maniac fury sits? Just think, 'tis not to be endured. The set of jewels I procured for Margaret, a rascal priest, has swept clean of, he has, the beast. Her mother of them got an inkling, and fell to quaking in a twinkling. The nose that woman has, you never believe, for scenting all that's wrong. Over her book of common prayer she snuffles all day long. With sanctimonious scowl demure, at every stick of furniture, she drops her nose to ascertain, if it be holy or profane. So in the trinkets soon she spies, that not much of blessing lies. Quoth she, all such unrighteous gear corrupts both body and soul, my dear. So let us then this devil's bait to Mary Mother consecrate, and she, as recompense instead, will gladden us with heavenly bread. Poor Gretchen pulled a long wry face. Gift horse, she thought, in any case, and very godless he cannot be, who brought it here so handsomely. The mother for the parson set, who heard her nonsense, and his eyes, be sure they gleamed with rare content, when he beheld the glittering prize. Quoth he, a holy frame of mine, which conquers self leaves all behind. The church from whom your gift is meant, a stomach has most excellent. Whole countries, land and grange and town, she at a meal has swallowed down. Yet ne'er, however gorged with pelf, was known to overeat herself. The church, my dears, alone with zest, can such unrighteous gear digest. The power it shares with not a few, your king now has it. That's a odd phrasing. So saying, he swept off amain, ring, necklace, bracelet, brooch, and chain, with quite as unconcerned an air, as if they merely mushrooms were, treating my precious gems in casket like nuts so many in a basket, and promising that heaven no end of fair rewards to them would send. He took his leave, and there they sat, immensely edified by that. And Gretchen? She is all in rest, and scarce knows that she'd like them best. Think of the trinkets night and day, and more of them that brought them, hey! It pains me that my love should fret. Fetch her at once, another set. The first were no great things. Hey day, all things are to my lord's child's play. Do what I wish and quickly. Go, stick to her, neighbor close. Be no mere milk and water devil. And go these gewgaws another set. Gewgaws? And get these gewgaws another set. That you desire, 'tis enough. Such a lovesick fools away will puff, sun, moon, and stars into the air. And all to please their lady fair. She's not even his lady. He saw her once, right? He met her once. Okay, I could do another, because that again was like a 4-minute one. I think I am going to call it. It's been an hour and a half. Generally, I have these reading streams go between an hour and 2 hours. We got like 5 scenes, of which I think 3 of them were short, so it's not too impressive, but no, I did 4 scenes, or I did 6 scenes where 3 of them were short, so nothing too impressive, but nothing that bad. I am going to wrap up. Thank you so much if you were in chat, or if you are a VOD watcher. I'm not Sweepy Arrow, though I am quite tired. I'm gonna get all comfy after this. Yep. So thank you so much. If you are a VOD watcher and you're watching this when it's public, or you're watching as a commenter or a lurker, Mephisto is a man of wealth and taste after all. Well, Mephisto might be. I don't know if Mephistopheles is. But tomorrow is going to be a Twitch stream, chatting just randomly. I'm probably going to finish the Harpocrates dossier, and I'll probably do TTRPG stuff. That's probably my plan for tomorrow. And then next week, on Wednesday, my plan is to potentially do a New Year's stream. Cuddle with a kitty cat, don't bark too much. I don't know if I'm going to cuddle with her. She is kind of curled up. But thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. If you are tired, go to bed. And I know it's rich coming from me, but hey, it must be said. I just rhymed right there. I've been reading too much Faust. Anyway, take care of yourself. Goodbye.